All right, welcome back. Today we're going to look at how to add ROMs for the Switch into Launchbox. If you want to see how we added the Ryujinx emulator to Launchbox, go watch the previous video. Or if you don't want to do any of this yourself, please head over to Etsy. The link will be in the description for RetroRig, where we can provide that service for you. And you can customize a game drive or other device however you like, and we can get that done for you and shipped out. But if you do want to do that yourself, inside of Launchbox, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Tools, Import ROM Files, Single Platform. We're going to hit Next, and we're going to add a folder. You can also add individual files, but I highly recommend just keeping all of your ROMs in one folder or a couple of folders and just managing it that way. So in this case, we're going to go in here and we are going to grab our folder. That's this folder here that has all of our ROMs. You'll notice that these ROMs are NSP and XCI files. NSPs are just the base game. XCI will often be bundled with additional updates and DLC and whatnot. If you want to see how to add DLC and updates to NSP games, look out for another video from us coming out about that very soon. But once we have this folder selected inside of Launchbox, you're going to click Select Folder, and you'll see it here. Now you're going to hit Next. Now, last time we set up the Nintendo Switch platform, it's not a default platform inside of Launchbox, so you do have to add it like we did in our previous video. But once you do that, it'll just show up here. And then when you click Next, you'll see that Ryujinx, which we set up in the previous video as well, is already selected and ready to go. So we hit Next for that. Now this is where, depending on how you want to manage your ROMs, you can either copy or move the ROMs to the Launchbox folder. I keep them in a separate folder. That's up to you how you want to manage that, but just make sure that you keep track of this folder here, wherever it is on your system, if you're going to go this route. So we're going to use the files in their current location just to keep things simple. Keep this recommended setting, click Next. This is where it's going to ask what art it should scrape for, what media it should scrape for. I keep the defaults here just to save storage space. Same goes for configuring EMU movies. It downloads video files. Video files are big. I don't really need that. Feel free to sign up for an account and configure it if you like. If you want to see how that's done, I'm happy to create a video to walk through that. Then we're going to hit Next. The only thing that you really need to care about here for specifically Switch games is this checkbox here. As you can see, this is the folder that we pointed Launchbox at for our ROMs. All the ROMs live at the top of this folder. They're not inside any subfolders except for this that I haven't unpacked yet, but that's not going to show up anyways. So if you have this, it can help speed things up to keep this checkbox checked. However, if you have your ROMs each in individual folders or subfolders inside of folders or however you organize it, if everything is not at the top level, you need to make sure this is unchecked or else it will not find all your games. We'll then hit Next, and you'll see all the games here. Make sure before you hit Finish that all of these look correct, that you're not missing anything, that all the names look correct, because that is the name it will use to scrape media and metadata for the game to get the nice cover art and so on. You'll notice here that it's based off the file name. So this file name here is TOTK, XCI, and it pulled that name. This is not the name of this game. This is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And what I'm going to do for demonstration purposes is I'm going to put a typo in this, and you'll see why in a second. But you want to make sure that your names are correct, as correct as possible before you hit Finish. But once you have that, you hit Finish, and in just a few seconds, it will pop up all of your games with all of their artwork. You'll see some metadata here, rating, some screenshots, and all of that stuff. But you will notice that we have a game here that doesn't have any information, no screenshots, no additional metadata, nothing. Now you can still play this, no problem with that, but if you want it to show up with the nice cover art and everything, what you can do is hit edit, right click on it, hit edit, edit metadata/media. You'll notice here that it says search. If it has found the game, this will not be a search button. We'll see that in a second. So what I can do is I can go in and correct this typo and hit search. And you'll notice that it pulls up the game. And as soon as I select that, you have all of your metadata here and the star rating and everything else. So you'll see here that this is no longer a search button. This is an ID. And that's what it references for all of the rating and all of that. So once we have that done, we will hit OK. And now you'll see we have our metadata, our screenshot, our cover art, and everything like that. So that is, again, if you're not wanting to go through RetroRig to do all this for you, this is how you set up and get to the point where you can launch games through Launchbox for the Nintendo Switch.